Welcome to another episode of Backyard Conversations. We're here again with Jerry and Joey and me, Kevin. We're happy that you have you here again.
Why did you laugh? Why the heck?
It's okay. You can keep going, man.
Oh my god. Why did you laugh?
I don't know.
I don't know. He was doing good.
He can keep going.
All right. All right. If you haven't hit that sub button, go ahead and hit that sub button. Hit that bell so that you can always get a notification for every single video that we upload. And share it. Share it with your friends. That's the best way that you can help this channel. And we have another episode. We're talking about something good, guys. What are we talking about today?
The socials.
Social media.
Social media.
Facebook.
We talking about the
Instagram.
gram. Talk about Facebook.
The
We're
shorts.
talking about TikTok.
TikTok. Is there anything else now?
Remember Vine? Remember those days?
Oh, that don't exist no more.
Snapchat. Is that still a thing?
Snapchat.
Not as
Twitter.
much.
Twitter.
I mean, I don't use Snapchat.
Twitter, what's known as
X.
X now.
Wow.
I joined as
Yeah.
delete
Go
Twitter. Delete Twitter.
Yeah.
Not good.
Why?
Not good.
Well, there's a lot of stuff on there that is not it's not good.
Was not aware. Social media. We're talking about social media. This is a relevant topic. Why is this relevant?
We're using social media for this podcast. That's how we get to you guys.
So we're going to hell. It's like,
No.
What are you talking about? No. Hey, yo.
no,
Somebody-
but for real. I mean, this today's day and age is using social media more than, well, obviously more than ever.
Man, everybody I know has social media.
Yeah, everybody.
Literally.
Any generation. My parents, I have social media.
Yo, my grandma has Facebook, bro.
Las tias.
She's like 80 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like almost everybody. If you don't have social media, you're seen as weird and outdated nowadays.
Yeah, Jerry right here is a millennial. Me and Kevin here are Gen Z.
Gen Z.
And apparently, I think, what is it, 60% or 75?
60%.
60% of Gen Z makes up TikTok alone. That's not social media in general. That's just TikTok.
That's
Right? Apparently, what is it, 74? 74% of Gen Zers spend their free time online. Which I feel like that's a pretty big number, but
And then 71 of Gen Z watches more than 3 hours of online videos every single day.
That's crazy, yo. You guys remember that era of your life without internet? I'm sorry, I had an era in my life where I had no internet. I didn't even have a computer. I don't remember what I did, yo.
I mean, when I was young, yeah. I mean, when you're, at least for me, when I was like probably less than like 10 years old,
Yeah,
I
same.
wasn't really using. I think maybe less than 8 because I got a PS3 when I was like 8 or 9.
I used to play a lot of video games.
Yeah. Well, I did have a
I don't
PS2.
remember.
Well, no, but that didn't use internet.
But you didn't have like a social
No,
page
no.
anywhere.
Even on the the PS3 had
I
you
had
could have
MySpace.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, PS3 was probably my first social
Did you guys
platform.
ever had MySpace?
You know, I remember
I remember
when MySpace came out. I never had MySpace because the only place where I could use a computer was in school, and in school it was blocked. So
Nah, bro. I had MySpace, bro. Every time you logged into my page, bro, I had a whole playlist playing, bro. So as soon as you tap into my profile, bro, there will be a playlist playing.
What was it playing?
Yeah, I can't say.
Nice.
I mean, that's wild.
Go, Shorty. It's your birthday.
No.
No, it was some wild, explicit adult stuff.
Nah.
Oh, Jerry.
Sorry, Jersey Chains, man of God.
Amen.
Nah, it was probably most likely, I don't remember, but it was probably maybe
Kids Bop.
50 Cent.
nah, maybe Nelly and what was
Kids Bop, bro.
Kids Bop. What? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember, to be honest. I know it was secular music for sure.
Yeah. So for you, what, it was MySpace? That was the first one you had?
That was the very first thing that I had. My dad, this is weird. This is going to be weird. My dad signed me up for High Five. And that was like a Hispanic what social media
High
thing.
five?
High five.
Yeah, I don't even know
Oh, my
like
Lord.
where it came
Oh,
from.
nah.
But I had one of those. I think we were just playing around with it. But yeah, MySpace, and then we jumped into Facebook, and then then Twitter and Instagram kind of popped in. I don't know
Yeah.
which one was first.
True.
Um,
Yeah, for me it was the PlayStation, the PS3. That was the first thing you could have friends on it. But then
okay.
once I was like around 11, I had a friend who had a Facebook, and so then he was telling me, "Oh, you should try and make a Facebook." Even you can't really make an account till you're like, what is it, like 18 or is it? I mean, technically,
I'm not sure.
Plus, my parents, they didn't want me having a Facebook really, so I tried to like sneak and making a fake Facebook account, you know, like discreetly.
Yeah.
But obviously didn't work because my parents found out.
Oh.
They're like, "Why do you have this?" So for me, it was the PlayStation. I'll count that as my first social. But I didn't really encounter anything like Facebook or anything till like 11, 12, like middle school.
I had it when I was in high school, so
Yeah, a lot of people had Facebook. Facebook was like the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
yo, I remember
Everybody-
the
Especially with
little
Hispanics.
the
Yep.
little window used to pop out, and used to have your friends, and they were green, and you can like talk to them.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. You see who's online.
Yo, and I remember like some of my friends that we used that to like spit their game up. Like,
What?
yeah, they'd be like hitting up like some girl or something,
Oh
some
my
random
gosh,
girl.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Then the catfish era started. About, oh, you don't look like your Facebook picture.
Oh, no.
But yeah, that's all fun stuff. I mean, I think we also seen the way it has progressed, like in terms of like deliverance of the Facebook. I mean, of social media. Like for example, MySpace was more of an experience for me. It was like, oh, you know, you go into this person's profile, you can see their playlist. Like they got their playlist, they got some writing, some pictures here and there. Facebook was more about pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Then Instagram came, and then I guess the picture formats changed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not so much about writing or posting. It was just
Yeah,
pictures,
just
purely
pictures.
pictures.
Yep.
And then Twitter too came up, and that was more of
Just
Writing.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know which one was first, if it was Instagram or Twitter.
I think it was Twitter.
I want to say.
I want to sway.
I know
wanna say Twitter,
Instagram
but I could
came
be
out.
wrong.
I know it was definitely after Facebook, and I remember that it was like made for college kids or something. And then Facebook bought it, and like
Yeah.
turned.
Yeah.
it into
I think Twitter came first because growing up, I met a lot of. I watched a lot of gamers, and the gamers became famous because of Twitter,
Oh, yeah.
and there was no Instagram at that time. So
And then Snapchat was a thing too.
Oh yeah, that joint. Honestly,
I
Snapchat seems so malicious. I'm not
Yo,
even
I
gonna
didn't-
lie.
I didn't know
Like the-
Snapchat until until I was probably 14 or 15.
Yeah, I didn't have it till high school.
I didn't know it was a thing.
But like that, the whole thing, I was like, why do people like this so much just because it erases all your messages? Isn't that kind of sus?
Yeah, that is sus.
Yeah.
Or the fact that
so sus.
you take like a quick, in that time it was like a quick 8-second video of yourself
Yeah,
and then
so-
sending it.
My bad. So
Or like
Twitter did
Streaks.
come out first.
You remember
Twitter
that?
did come out
Streaks?
first. My
Twitter came
bad.
out first?
Yeah, Twitter did come out first. 2008, and then
Yeah.
Instagram 2010.
Yeah, you make a good point though. They were pretty different. I feel like now it's more like they all kind of have the same.
The deliverance. No, so the deliverance, you can see the time frame. Now it's videos, short videos.
Yeah. Oh, short form. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So like it all progressed. How media was being delivered, how we were expressing ourselves, or how we express ourselves, it's all progressing. And to a certain point, it's still moving. Like, you know, you had Snapchat, which is like quick snaps, and they were deleted and whatnot. Which what you said is kind of sketchy. And then we had that
Vine.
big platform that got canceled. Vine,
How
yeah,
long
that was
it?
doing
6
pretty
seconds
good.
or something?
Yeah, but they were quick videos, like real quick videos.
For real?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it
they
came
were
to
short.
it came to a point where the max I think it reached was like 12 seconds.
Oh nah. So
I
that was.
remember.
I mean, Vine was kind of cool. I never opened an account, to be honest,
I didn't either.
because I don't know, it was not my thing. It didn't really catch my attention. So then the media, I guess, deliverance changed when TikTok came out. It created like this whole revolution of short videos and
Yeah.
like video.
But that was also coming in like with Snapchat had the stories, right?
Yep.
And then Facebook and Instagram started doing stories. Now
Yep.
Twitter has, you can do
Yeah.
stories on Twitter. They
Yep.
called it something different. What was the other thing?
Shorts,
Shorts.
Yeah,
but that's a copy of
TikTok.
yeah, that's a copy. Oh, with TikTok, it had a precursor called Musical.ly. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I remember
that.
Musical.ly. It
Yes.
was basically TikTok
Yep.
back then, but it wasn't like, I feel like TikTok formed into more like anything. Like
Yeah. Right.
whereas Musical.ly was more you would lip sync. to
Oh,
a
yeah.
song.
Yeah. I remember that.
I guess it's like back then. That's
Yo,
what
you
TikTok
remember?
dances
Did you ever use the T? My bad. Did you ever use the T-Pain app?
The what?
The
T-Pain?
yeah,
What?
to change
No.
your voice. Damn.
Oh,
you did?
no! I think there was this one app, like that would make you a rapper. Like it would put
Yeah,
your voice in a rap
yeah,
song.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I
Yeah.
forgot what it's called. It was like Shmool. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean T-Pain. They had one for T-Pain. I forgot what it's called.
That's hilarious.
That was pretty cool though. And then like there was those videos where you can put your face on those Christmas videos, and they were like they'll literally put your face on the video, and they will
Make you
rap
sing.
and sing. Yeah, yeah, that was kind of fun.
Oh man.
But we see a progressive, I guess, change in method of delivery of how this is, being introduced and being, I guess, broadcast to people.
right.
So the way you express has been changing constantly in social media. Something interesting to mention as well. We were, talking about statistics, but only 45% of Gen Zs report that they have very good mental health. My question is, does social media have anything to do with the fact that you feel depressed, the fact that you have anxiety, and the fact that you feel lonely?
Yeah, we can't deny that social media does affect your emotions in many ways. Many people, it's sad to say, many people have unalived themselves because of social media. Many people have broken long-term relationships because of social media. Many people don't take opportunities because of social media. Many people have totally changed their lives and mindsets because of social media. I don't know. It's like, it's such a good world. It's such a good virtual world. A good way to escape, a good way to explore things. But at the same time, you can go too far. It could take you too far.
Yeah, I think we can't deny that social media does have a part to play in why people probably don't have as much good mental health now. I mean, obviously it's not the only thing, but you can't deny it. Like, it does have its good uses, but to a certain extent, it also has its bad uses. And the thing is, you can't really, I don't know, there's not much you can do to stop. I don't know. It's like cyberbullying, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's the internet. You can't really, I don't know, like, it's just hard to stop that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not something that, to a certain extent, yes, the internet can regulate what goes on there, but people always find a way around to cause something in other people. Just the same way that people try not to get flagged on YouTube and TikTok and all that for saying certain things or doing certain things, so they use other words to express what they're trying to mean. But in the same way, I feel like the way that social media has developed through time has caused people to adapt into doing negative things as well. So in the past, it was easy for somebody to say some like horrendous thing to anybody online and no one cared. Now it's to a point where you can say something crazy to somebody and you cannot use the whole sentence to express it, and you could say it in 2 or 3 words and people will know what you're talking about. It's filtered our mind to the point where we know what they're trying to mean. Like, you don't need to see somebody getting unalive to know what they're talking about. You don't need to see somebody getting molested to talk about to know what they're talking about. You don't need to see a full girl nude to know what they're trying to refer to. It's like people find ways to adapt to doing the negative things, and that's something that social media does to you, because a lot of people really don't know what they're doing with their time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that was a whole movement too on when all of this Facebook kicked off, cyberbullying. I remember that in high school.
They would do assemblies about that stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there was actually people being affected by it.
Yeah.
mentally and in their daily lives.
They made movies about it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's a movie called
documentaries
Cyberbully
as
or
well.
something like a documentary style thing.
Unfriended.
No, there is a documentary on Netflix, I think it is, that kind of made me want to delete everything.
Oh,
to be honest,
I think I've seen one that. Yeah, I know.
The way they track you, the way they
It's like the social
dilemma.
epidemic. Social dilemma.
Yeah, so the social dilemma, the way your data is used is ridiculous, man. Like everything is, it's accustomed to keep you tag on your phone. Like everything you see is for you to continue swiping, for you to continue interacting with your phone. And to a certain point that creates dopamine in your brain, like those short strokes that you do with your fingers, that quick laugh, all of that is creating dopamine, so it becomes addictive. Can social media be addictive?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, of course it can. Yeah. No, that's a good point too, that I feel like social media now is more of a business than anything. Like I think we need to keep in mind these Facebook and Twitter, they don't have your best interests in mind.
They don't.
They're a business at the end of the day. All they care about is keeping you on their app for as long as they can, looking at their ads. That's what's important to them. So I don't know. The intention of social media is not a good one either, really.
Yeah, but and then going to addiction. Why would somebody become addicted to social media? What causes a person to become addicted?
Relief. Sense of being part of something.
Yeah.
An escape from reality, an escape from your problems.
I feel like with younger people, maybe trying to fit in.
Fit in, definitely.
Go with the trends, conform.
Maybe somebody as well. It finds comfort in it. Just. There's some people that live other people's life through social media.
I feel that because I was one of those folks that I was expressing myself on social media. That's how I came to transformation.
Hey yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I know what you're talking about. I've had friends like that.
I was blabbering like people are fake, man. Just focus on yourself, man. God ain't real. Saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, they just post like that on social.
Just because you want to get heard. But I mean, that's a common thing.
I know a lot of people who use. Well, I don't know. I've never used Tumblr, but I've heard a lot of people that
Tumblr?
like that don't have friends in, like they struggle having friends in school. They tend to have a lot of Tumblr friends, so I guess they find their.
That was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they find they feel alone, so they find their community on social media.
Of people that feel alone, and they all feel alone together.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's more.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy,
quick advice: as you're watching this, if you have an iPhone, I don't know how it works on Android. So maybe Joy can enlighten you, but I have no idea how it works.
Boo.
But if you go to your iPhone and you go to settings and you go down to screen time, it should be able to tell you how much you're spending on each app.
Comment your screen time, bro.
Yeah. So comment your screen time
how much you use your phone per week.
So per day, per week, it tells you all of that, and it's really interesting because it opened my eyes to a certain point, because I'm not gonna sit here and be a hypocrite. I was one of those people that was using my phone way too much, like during my day. I looked at my settings and I went to that section of my phone and I said, "Wait, I'm on social media 6 hours. What in the world? How? When? Who? Like, how does this happen?"
You get a full-time job without getting paid.
It's like you ever had that? You have that one friend that their story is like 50 posts long.
Yes.
You're like, yo,
a bunch of dots.
I don't need to know every thought that comes to your mind. Just put your phone down, relax for a second.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this is too much, man.
Yeah.
Like, what?
So I mean, I had to go through a change in my lifestyle, I guess. And I had
think a lot of
to
people do.
be more mindful of the time that I was spending, and I became more productive, and I became a little bit more proactive when it came to certain things that I had to do.
It's like these shorts, yo. I just get sucked into them sometimes.
Yeah,
it's just so easy. You're just like,
yeah, you just keep swiping.
I feel brain dead. Like, I feel brain dead after so. swiping up and up. Like it's crazy because it just draws you in.
Never ending.
Like I think that's everybody. You know, everybody has to.
It's
come to a
addicting.
point where you gotta like, man, I gotta stop this. I gotta change.
It'd be 3 a.m. in the morning and you're still swiping, fam.
You're like, man, I should go to bed, but one more.
And some people actually develop like a crease right here and right here from holding their phone so much.
I got it on my pinky.
Right.
or yeah, it might be on your pinky actually.
Yeah,
when you hold it. Yeah. So no, this is dangerous and this is serious. You can lose your job because of this. I mean, what I found out is, 6 of those hours, it wasn't very, very accurate for me because sometimes I would literally just leave my phone on the table, and I don't like my phone to lock. I don't have the automatically lock, so it would just play the video again and again and again and again and again. Mm-hmm. So it would be counting it as being on social media, but nonetheless, I was spending way too much. Time, and I reduced it to about an hour, I think, I started with. And then I went extreme and I did 30 minutes. And now I do like keep tabs on it. Right. But there's two sides of it. There's the consumer side and there's the creator side. Mm-hmm. So now, because we're doing all of this right now, part of this consumption that I'm doing is for me to find resources or for me to find ideas or for me to review some of our videos or for me to even view some of our videos to see what we can improve and whatnot. But it has a huge impact in your life, man. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, it drains you. It literally drains you and it makes your brain dead, because it gets to a point, it's like, how much dopamine can your body produce?
I don't know, man. It's a weird feeling.
Too much of something is
bad.
It's like when you eat too much McDonald's.
Yep.
What? I never had that.
Like sometimes, like you get one McChicken and some fries, and you're like, man, that was good. But then sometimes I would eat like 2 and a large fry and like a large soda, and I'm like, ugh, I feel greasy now.
I guess that's me when I eat pizza. Sometimes I overdo it with pizza.
It's like if it's like really greasy pizza.
Yeah, one more slice, and it's like then I would want to eat pizza or smell pizza for a whole month.
Yeah.
But with social media, it doesn't work like that, because you wake up the next morning and you're still on it.
It's the first thing you do.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's the first thing they do. Your phone is next to you, and then you don't even look at the time. You just unlock it. And and then it's not that you need to look for the app. It's already open.
Yeah, and it's just so easy to access.
Yep. Yeah.
It's just, and it's free.
Yep.
There's no, there's nothing blocking you.
No cost.
It's like not, it's unlike food. Like there's no reason you shouldn't, because with food costs money, or maybe you got to drive out to the place to get it. Social media, it's right there in front of you. It's free. There's nothing blocking you from just indulging.
And it's
so
everywhere.
So there's a ton of reasons. I feel like that's like maybe a whole nother, like that's a very complex sort of topic of why we are so indulged in social media, but we can talk about the effects that we can cover pretty well. So like when we're just like addicted and just consuming, like what kind of effects does that have?
Depression.
Yep.
I would say the big one is depression.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get isolated from everything. Like you spend so much time on your phone and in social media that you can't even have a normal conversation with somebody anymore.
I feel like some people get become introverted, and there's one thing that I don't understand. I know some folks that have a crap ton of followers online, but they are the most introverted people ever that don't like to spend time with nobody.
Yeah.
And they don't like being around nobody. But you have so many friends on social media. I don't understand how. It's like a fake persona.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy too is that a lot of these like social media celebrities are so I feel like they're so disconnected from just humanity, like just the normal people of the world.
Yeah.
Like they're just so disconnected. I'm like, bruh, like you've ever seen people making fun of that, like one celebrity that's like, guys, we're working in I don't know if it was like a McDonald's or something. Or something like, this is so cool, and bro,
I know what you're talking about.
Like obviously, I have most of the examples are not that extreme, but like
this is what it's like going through the drive-through,
bro.
Wow. Oh,
yeah, it's like
no,
it's like you're so disconnected.
So you would say it creates false expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, no, that for sure. One, they're disconnected, like being a social platform, you think they have all these followers. They're so connected to the people. But when you watch them, like, to me, I feel like they're so disconnected. They don't know the average person.
Yep.
They don't know what the average human is like. And then on top of that, them having this life that's so unlike like what normal person has, it does create those false expectations. It does create discomfort and discontentness in our lives. Like I don't have a huge single family home with like the Ace family. They get to build their home. Where do we put our gym? Oh my gosh, this is such a problem. Where do I put my gym? Next to my bedroom? Downstairs in the 200 square foot living room? Like,
so
and
you
then
would
people
say,
see that and they're like, man, I want a big house like
right,
that.
exactly.
I want a personal pool and a personal gym in my home. I want a huge bathroom with a huge shower and a jacuzzi in the same like. It creates this expectation like reality. They have this and they look young and they look this and that, so why can't I? Right. And then you look around and all of a sudden this doesn't look so nice anymore. It's not doing it for you anymore.
So depression, anxiety, loneliness, all of that kicks in. Literally all of that. So if you're suffering, actually I heard this in a podcast the other day a while back, and it was with a dang, I forgot his name, but it was somebody that does psychology, and it was a well-known podcast. I'm not sure if it was the UFC fighter,
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I don't know if it was
an announcer.
I don't remember who it was, but it's very famous, and they were saying like they specialize on like mental health. Actually, it wasn't Joe Rogan; it was somebody else. They specialize on mental health and like. They're not Christian or anything. They're just, specialized on mental health. And I did a whole series at church about mental health. And I was diving deep into it. And he's a therapist, actually. And he has interviewed with other therapists that, have clients and have like teenagers.
I think I've seen some podcasts like that where it's like a therapist or a psychotherapist and they're talking to other therapists about psychology and all this stuff.
Yeah. So one of them said the very first thing that I do with a teenager that comes to me that says that they're suffering from depression, anxiety, and loneliness is I tell them, put your phone down. Take the phone away and start living life. Start enjoying life. Start enjoying a cup of water. Start enjoying the small things. So it's interesting to me that a psychologist, somebody that went to school, studied the brain, and knows about these behaviors, the first thing that they do is to cut off social media, to cut off the usage of your phone, at least to like decrease it in order for you to regain your feelings back. So part of you feeling numb, part of you feeling depressed, part of you feeling, lonely might have to do with the fact that you're spending 9-10 hours in social media.
It's because of what social media is creating in you, right? You spending all that time on there, it's creating all these different emotions and all these disconnections.
Exactly.
And all these different effects in you. And if you would just put the phone down for a day and just look at your family, spend some time with your brother, sister, or your mother and father, or just go outside for a walk, you'd feel a lot better.
Yeah.
You'd be able to, like, sometimes you gotta, not literally, but like just wake up and look at the trees for a second, like, I don't know. Sometimes it plays into like trying to fit in, like we were saying earlier. Like you see all these trends and you suddenly want to get in with all these trends. And then, it's hard. You can't just be rich overnight. Exactly. And so you become depressed. Yep. Like, man, I don't have what I want. It's so hard. And you get discouraged and all this stuff. Where maybe if you would just like forget about it for a second and just take a look at what you do have, you'd be a lot happier.
And the other thing too is that a lot of these creators that we see that post all of these fancy cars, all of these houses, all of these, like that family you mentioned, I forgot their name, but
the Ace family.
They actually got blasted not too long ago for that apparently that was not even their own house or something like that.
I heard that they're not even a real. Well, I don't know. This could be just complete rumor. I don't know. I heard that they're not even really a real family. Like they just do it for
YouTube. I think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
Whatever the case may be, what I'm trying to say and tell you is that a lot of this content that a lot of these things that we consume, they're not 100% real.
Exactly.
They are not. They're fictional.
They try to present it like it is, and they try to present it like it makes them happy.
Exactly.
When in reality, it doesn't take away the problems in their marriage or the problems between their family. It doesn't take the problems they have at work or whatever they have or their mental health issues. It doesn't take any of that away.
Yeah, they might look happy on that post, and they might look happy in their new house or in their vacation, but they are deeply in depression. They're deeply feeling lonely. They're having issues. Their marriages don't last. Their relationships don't last. So it's like your view of life needs to be anchored on God.
Yep.
Not on social media, not on post, and that's the reality that we live in, sadly, is the fact that a lot of our goals and a lot of our perspective come from social media.
Right. I remember I saw this, I was watching this, I follow this girl that she's her major is in finance. So she talks a lot about finance stuff. She talks about finance. She talks about how to save better, how to invest your money better, better accounts to have your money, things like that. And I'm listening to all the things she's talking about. Like, I put my money in here. I put my money here. She's like 24 and she has like $120,000 in assets. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool because, she still lives at home. She looks like the most real human being giving you real advice of what you can do with your money without showing off no car, no fancy job. She's like, I work at Aldi and I work at Walmart, but I have $120,000.
Dang.
Because I just invest my money. I still live with my parents. I don't care. I still drive a Sentra. I don't care. But I invest my money and I'm going to keep it growing. But the thing is, I'm like, man, you're 24 years old. You have $120,000 in assets. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm like, I feel like at that point, you're in a stance where you're financial stable. You probably don't have as many financial problems that your average 24-year-old probably has. Or, you kind of feel content every day that you have your good schedule and you're still getting your paycheck and you still got money. So you're okay. But then here comes like the most personal portion of the video where out of nowhere she's like, okay, so after I invest my money at this time of the day, she's like, I had to kind of like separate myself from my phone, and then she shows herself like cleaning up the tears of her eyes, and she specifically said, she's like, because although I have all these things, there's still so much going on, and I just need a moment just where I can release everything I'm feeling on the inside and gather up my thoughts, and then just know that my day and my life is going to keep getting better, and I just got to keep moving on. And I was like, that's like the most realistic thing somebody can post, because she's not denying the fact that she's still feeling, that she still goes through things, that she's still dealing with things. And the thing is, most of the people online that view all these high-end creators that are making millions of dollars, you don't know the fact that these people are probably staying up at night crying their problems out because they don't know what to do. They have all this money, but that money's not enough to solve their problems. So when you look up to these people on a daily basis and you feed your mind on that stuff, you just create this reality that as long as, I'm famous like them, or I have what they have, or I have that money, I'm going to be okay. When the reality is you have things in your life that probably are there to help you, and you don't notice it and you don't see it because you don't get what you want from it. And at the end of the day, this false reality sinks you into a hole and just keeps sinking you and sinking you and sinking you. And then you don't have another escape. And then the same place where you're trying to find escape makes you sink. And like you were saying, until you find that help and that peace in God, and so you begin to view God of how he's trying to be with you, because understand that God wants to be in your life more than anything else. He wants to be part of his creation. He wants to be with his creation. Until you start viewing God how he really is, until you start to see what he really has to offer, then you're never going to really climb out of this hole.
Yeah,
that's true. That's really good. I think there is like I don't know, this might I'm not sure, but I feel like we tend to get this notion nowadays that we certainly know what's best for us. Like I see it a lot on social media, especially younger people. We certainly know what's best for us.
Yep.
Right. I know like a lot of people like to get therapists now, which is a good thing. So in that sense, maybe they do refer to someone. But like a lot of younger people are like, oh no, I know what I need. I need a hustle and just get rich, and I need to do this, and this is gonna fix everything. Where like that's so naive. It's so ignorant and arrogant. Like who told you knew what's best for you or best for anybody?
Right.
Like why don't you just seek out help. Like, I feel like we isolate ourselves, like you were saying, and then we suddenly think, oh, I need what this guy has, and in reality, that's all a lie, because you don't need a Lambo to be happy. You don't need a huge house to be happy, right? You don't need any of that. I mean, take a look at the rest of the. What do you think the rest of the world does? You think the rest of the world's just depressed? All the other third world countries on Earth. You think suddenly the 1% of America that has all these luxury things is the only happy people on the planet? What do you think the rest of the world's been doing for the past 100,000 years? Like, I mean, we're still a species, so obviously, they weren't depressed enough to just unalive all of themselves. Right. So life, there was something good about life for them to keep living.
Right.
What do you think they did? You think they just everybody got rich and happy? No, most of the world is pretty poor.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that we need to have a balance. So we need to have a balance to understand and be grateful for what we have in the current situation that we're in, but you also need to have the craving and the wanting to improve, the desire to improve, to continue achieving more, to continue meeting new goals, to not conform, but have that balance where that God is with you and God is able to bless and open doors. Right. Because there's the other extreme too, where like, oh no, I'm satisfied, and like, yeah, you're like 45, 35, living in the basement, and you're saying I'm fine, but in reality, you're not meant to live in those situation or circumstance. So what I'm trying to say is having a balance of what's real and what's too comfortable.
Yeah, doing what's in your control to, like, there's a healthy sort of hustle, I guess. Obviously there's a part of it that's like unhealthy, that's more mental, but you do need to motivate yourself to make
grind.
Something.
Yeah,
like, you don't need to be rich,
right. You don't.
But you shouldn't be you shouldn't do nothing. Like, you need to do something with your life.
Exactly.
Be productive, which is one of the things that I know you were saying was time management and productivity, which social media tends to take away.
It does.
From
it will
a lot
take
of
it.
us.
Yeah. So you want to be more proactive.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest ones.
If you want to be more proactive, let me tell you a secret. If you want to be more proactive, if you want to be more creative, if you want to, spend more time in your profession or career, put a break on social media, put time breaks on social media. Like, know how much time are you wasting? Because I'm not even gonna lie, it's not like 99.9% of that is waste. It's just for you to laugh. It's just for you to giggles and whatnot. It's very rare that I have some friends that do send me like TikTok videos about like the Bible and stuff, but some of it is jokes. Some of it, like, it's very rare to find like something that is solid, that is gonna nurture you. And it's not baloney. Like, it's not.
And sometimes it is Christian, but it's not actually true. Like, theology. Sometimes it's incorrect or something like that.
Yeah. And you do have to be careful with that, because now there's all these trends about like finding a new thing, like finding the new discovery of the Bible, or finding, like, the other day I was somebody had sent me a video, actually not the other day, probably last year, somebody sent me a video about, they were talking about how Abraham encountered Melchizedek. I think that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if that's not how you pronounce it. But when he encountered him, somebody was like, oh, his God is greater than our God because Abraham had to offer to him. So they were like, spitting a whole new a new doctrine, and people were liking that stuff, and it had like millions of likes and views, and I'm like, fam, this is all wrong. Like, there is no greater God than our God. Like, there is no other name higher. There's no other God. And so you feed yourself with all of these things, and you continue to wake up depressed and you continue to wake up with anxiety, it might be because of social media. It might be because you're consuming all of these, false expectations, false life that people, live. I feel like too, some people they don't really post unless they're going on vacation.
Yo, because they feel like nothing is interesting in their life.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's like, let me just post when I'm on vacation.
Yeah, they're kind of. I feel like that's just to seek people's attention and approval.
You want to know
to feel like, I have a life you want to be looking at. Yeah, I'm all,
Yeah.
That's one thing I really don't like. I hate that everybody just wants to show off.
Yeah.
And that's in everything. I feel like it's everything. It's with those like mom Instagrams where they like to show off. Oh, I got all these gadgets. Look at how organized my kitchen is.
Mm-hmm.
Or like with like fitness influencers, especially like guys and girls, but like
they show off their bodies.
Yeah, like not the fitness is a good thing. My man Jerry here, like he likes fitness, but like these influencers, bro, like why I don't need to see these photos, and you don't need to post them every day.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen pictures of your body like every day for the past 2 years. Like I'm good, man. Just show me how to do an exercise.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Like a lot of people, or a lot of them don't even post videos about exercise. They just like to post their body. They just like to pose and flex and show off. Right? There's just like boastmanship that's just. There's no humbleness. There's no humility. Where is that?
Let me take it to the other side. I feel like in Christian community that can happen too.
No, I can't.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you're and I'm sorry for a lot of the evangelism pastors that might view our stuff, but some of you guys post too much about you rather than what God is doing. Like, I thank my team and I thank my people and I thank you for the invitation that you did for me so that I can go and I did this and this about me. I think a lot of people need to know that if you were placed there, it was because of God. So the main thing you should say is, I thank God for what he did here. I thank God for this. God opened doors this way. God did this and he did it this way. A lot of people need it doesn't matter what position you are, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a preacher, whether you're an evangelist or a teacher, you got to give all the credit to God, because if it was not because of God, you would not be there. Mm-hmm. If not, you're just like all these gym influencers showing off.
I think we gotta remember, none of this really has anything to do with us.
No,
like as in like the fact that these people got saved, it wasn't because you went and preached.
Exactly.
It wasn't because you specifically spoke. It's because God decided to give you that. He's like, look, I need to save these people. I love you, and you're my child, so I'm gonna give you the honor of doing this for me. But I could do it myself.
Yeah.
God could do it himself. He don't need none of us.
God don't need help.
But he wants a family, and he loves us, and so he gives us the honor of doing. He gave us the Great Commission as as an act of love. Like, hey, help me out because I want you in on my mission.
Right. So stop advertising your gift. Stop boasting of your gift, and start giving God the glory for it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we can talk about this all night. But bottom line is, if you are going through, some sort of loneliness, depression, anxiety, try it. You don't lose anything by just trying to. If you need to delete it, delete it.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I only have Facebook. That's all I have.
Yeah.
I don't have TikTok.
And you probably only have Facebook because of church.
Yeah.
But we all have our reasons. And I think there's a comedian, I forgot his name. Jeez, keep forgetting names today. But there's a comedian that he uses a flip phone. He doesn't have a smartphone. He literally uses a flip phone. And I mean, I got to a point where I started meditating that, to be honest, because I got to a point where, like, I want to be proactive on my life. I want to grind. I want to move. I want to be in a place that, I don't regret my past years.
Uh-huh.
And I think that it's crucial for you to understand that time never is given back to you. Mm-hmm. You can gain back money. You can gain back what you lose in property and profits. You can gain back friends. You can make new friends. You can gain back your iPhone, your watch if you lose it. time is life.
Yeah.
And you can never get that back. And you are literally giving your life away to the gram, to TikTok, to YouTube. You're watching all of these videos and you're literally being consumed alive into these things. And you're going to regret it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to miss out on the stages of life that you're going through.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, you need to be able to enjoy high school. You need to be able to enjoy, the transition from middle school to high school, from high school to college if you're going to college, or from high school to a career or to a job if you're going to straight to a job. But there's beauty in like life, in just enjoying the simple things of having a genuine conversation with somebody, or feeling connection with another person that is not through a like or through a heart.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's a reason why you're like any decent church, like even though COVID was a thing not too long ago, and we all went online, but we had, at least our church, we had a big emphasis on coming back in person. Yeah. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why the church in the Bible stresses community.
Mm-hmm.
Like not online community, like a real physical, like personal community that you actually see and touch and interact with in a real way. You need to surround yourself with people.
You do, yeah.
Like, social media has its perks and it has its uses, but it's not the solution to much of anything. Honestly, I don't think so. And it doesn't substitute real people.
Right.
It doesn't substitute a real mom and dad the same way it doesn't substitute real friends that you actually hang out and spend time with.
Yeah.
Or real mentors.
Right. The cure to your anti-socialism is not staying away from people. The cure to your depression and your anxiety is not staying away from people. The cure to your loneliness is not staying away from people. On the contrary, you need to surround yourself with the correct people to help you get out of that.
Yeah, and if it's awkward at first, it's fine. Like, some people are scared of, like, moments of silence.
Yeah. People get anxious over that.
It's cool.
But it's okay, because that happens to everybody. Who doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that not gonna happen to? You're gonna be fine. Like, you're gonna live another day. I'm sure a lot of that's almost every friendship that starts off. You have that stage where you don't know the person. You get to know the person. You don't know what he's like, what he likes, or what this dude is into. And you're gonna have some moments of silence. You're gonna have some moments of disagreement where you like something and he hates it. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's just part of.
So, what good does social media do?
Nothing. No, it does have its uses. There's a ton of channels I watch on YouTube, Christian channels that I think are very, very valuable, that have blessed my life immensely. A lot of podcasts. I know, like, Mike Winger's a good guy. Ruslan has good social commentary. The Beat has good teachings. You take and you leave whatever you want from each of these people. Ultimately, the Bible is your
ultimate guide.
Your ultimate guide. But there's a lot of good resources out there on these platforms. A lot of these people have their platforms on TikTok. There's a guy called Inspiring Philosophy. He does a lot of TikTok responses. So some guy will come out with some like ridiculous statement like, "Oh, Jesus was like Buddha and he's a fifth dimension, whatever the heck," and he'll respond to that like, "What are you talking about?" And
is that the Red Pen or what is it called? Or
no, he's called Inspiring Philosophy. It's Mike Jones.
Is that the guy who picks up the pen? There's a guy that does TikTok that picks up the pen that does the same thing, and he's pretty good at it.
I think I might know who you're talking about. It's like, but no, I'm referring to somebody. There's a few, right? There's all these good stuff
that bless your life and have
that bless your life. And they're all good things. There's this podcast. We're trying to bless y'all. Sure. We're trying to, and the Bible calls us to be lights in the darkness, right? So if social media is a place full of darkness, which it definitely can be, especially if you're on Twitter. But anyways, it can be a dark place. We want to represent the light in these spaces, you know? So I think it is we should do it, right? So it's not like we should just steer away completely from social media, because it does have its good things, but other than that, like we should be in these dark places shining light.
Yeah, and I think it opens up opportunities for you. Like, for example, if you use it the right way, it can be a source of income If
there's a lot of opportunity in it.
Yeah, and like even like if you're doing like I don't know a business, let's say you own a clothing business, you can advertise your business in social media and can bring more revenue and more sales to your business. So it has really good props. You can reach thousands and thousands of people in a matter of seconds.
Yep.
You can impact somebody's life ongoing by just making a video and it replays.
Yeah,
and,
the reach on social media is like multiplies.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
it's especially for ministry,
worldwide.
like it just multiplies. But yeah, instead of preaching in one church in one city in one little town, suddenly you put it on social media. It's available around the whole world.
Yeah,
yeah. So there's a lot of good things that we just have to moderate well in our lives.
You have to have a balance.
Yeah, you have to have a balance. I know we haven't really borrowed any scripture, but I do have a scripture just to put like one or two in there.
Go ahead,
just so we can have it.
In order to see my face, you must read my book.
What in the world?
Anyways.
Yes. Amen to that.
Let's see. 1 John 2:15-17. Don't love this evil world or the things in it. If you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. This is all there is in the world, wanting to please our sinful selves, wanting the sinful things we see, and being too proud of what we have. But none of these comes from the Father. They come from the world. The world is passing away, and all the things that people want in this world are passing away. But whoever does what God wants will live forever. Right? So we did talk a little bit about like pride, boastfulness, and like Lambos, they're going to be gone one day, They're going to be gone.
And from a mechanic's perspective, I'm telling you, you don't want a Lambo. You cannot afford to maintain it. You don't want one. Stick to the Honda.
I mean, if you do get one,
don't call me. I'm not maintaining it.
Hopefully you can afford the maintenance and do all that.
Yeah, and I got one more. Ephesians 4:17. This one's really short, but I think I like the way it finishes. It says, "Therefore, I say this and testify in the Lord, you should no longer walk as the Gentiles walk, in the futility of their thoughts." So he says thoughts specifically. He doesn't say what they do, but their thoughts. Morality. How are you thinking? What are your emotions like? Don't think the way that these social media influencers are thinking. They're valuing all these material things. We're not. If we're following Christ and we have Christ in our hearts and the Holy Spirit's indwelt within us, we have a new way of thinking. We have a new set of morals that we are called to follow. And we should just approach it with that lens.
That verse has something valuable as well. Fertility. That's what it said, right?
Let me check. Fertility? Jerry, what are you talking about?
What did it say? Like to be fertile? Like
it said, therefore I say in the futility of their thoughts. Like uselessness. Like it's futile. Like there's no point.
Okay.
Which, makes sense. But where are you going with that?
So, I mean, your thoughts, right? And those thoughts have no point. Yeah. So, one of the things that we need to take into account is the fact that your thoughts are very important. For example, if I'm thinking about something, eventually it's going to become a decision. Mm-hmm. And that decision is going to become an action. Mm-hmm. So, when we're watching these social media things and all of these influencers and all of these, I don't know. Let me give you an example. Cooking shows or things that happen in TikTok or something like, hey, look, I made this. It comes to my mind, oh, this couldn't be easy. So let me try it out. And it ends up being chaos. It tastes horrible. In the same way that some people get caught on saying, hey, I have a Lambo. I have a mansion. Let me teach you how to do it for $300. Sign up. And then you're talking about it and you're like, okay, that this could be a good idea. Let me sign up. And then you end up losing money because it turns out it's not as easy as it sounds. Yep. You cannot make it rain money out of nowhere. So your thoughts matter, and the fact that you spend so much time on social media, they're developing thoughts in your brain. And if you're not able to catch on to that, they're going to start controlling your life. And eventually that's what's going to happen. You are going to start buying what you see. So you see the latest Nike. You can't afford it, but you buy it because you saw it on Instagram. You saw Drake rocking the new Nikes. You saw a basketball player. I don't know. You saw LeBron James with the new, Nike shoes. You saw,
you see Floyd Mayweather with like 5 gold chains
So
that are
so
like
now you
2
want
inches thick around his neck.
Yeah, so now you want that, and
Mhm.
you know that plays into your mind, into your mindset, into your thoughts,
Yeah.
and then you make them reality. So your thoughts eventually will come into action if you're not careful. If you're not able to filter your thoughts, they're gonna end up controlling you.
And we need to be wary of what we consume.
Exactly.
In a sense, not completely, but you are what you eat, in the sense that like that's gonna, what you consume visually, mentally, that's gonna affect you in some way. And the Bible says, you know, if you have an issue, pluck your eye out. You know, like in the sense that just if you just can't like just stop watching social media, or if you're having social issues or mental issues and you think it's because of social media, you need to put it away, pluck it out, throw it out. The same way that people do the same strategy with issues with lust. You need to plug it out, throw it out, throw it away.
And it's crazy because in lust, social media plays a big piece.
does.
Yo,
Yeah.
that
So a
is
lot
true.
a lot of you that are fighting that don't realize that you have still a door open on your phone that's causing you to fall into that.
Close those
And-
doors.
and all you got to do is pluck it out. Like,
Hit that
close the
unfollow.
door. Delete
Lock
the
the
app.
door.
Believe me when I tell you, you could let it go, and when you let it go, your eyes. It's crazy, man. It's like I did that. I did it for 4 months, where I separated from social media completely. All I had was YouTube, just to watch sermons and teachings and live services, things like that. But my eyes opened in those 4 months to things that were in my room that I was like, I didn't know I had this. I didn't know I bought this. I didn't know I could do this to this. I didn't know I had to clean this. I didn't know how to put this away. In those 4 months, your eyes are going to open and you're going to see things and you're going to notice things that as a result of having your social media accounts taking over your life, you didn't see in the moment. So do yourself a challenge. And I'm telling you that it's not for the better of nobody, because nobody could do this for you but yourself. And all we could do is give you the advice. Then it's up to you what you're going to do. But take some time off. Take the time off.
Take some time off the gram.
Unsubscribe from everybody on YouTube and stay subscribed just to this podcast. And delete every single social media account you have. And then your eyes are going to open.
Nice. Yes.
No, but real talk. I go through my phases to this day. I take breaks. For example, if I know that I need to extremely concentrate on something during the next 3 months, during the next month, I think to kick this off, I kind of did something similar where I say, okay, let me reduce all of my consumption of, social media so that I can have a more productive day, so that I can, focus on this, what we're doing. So when I, when I feel like I'm spiritually in need of a fasting, or when I feel like I have the desire, I need it, like it's there, I feel the thirst. That's one of the first things that I do. When I know that I'm about to start fasting, one of the first things that I do is that I block everything. Literally everything.
Because you need to focus.
Because I need to focus.
And that's
on
the issue.
God.
That's not even Christian. That's just in general. Like there's apps that out there meant to help you be more productive by minimizing your social media use. That's really like the main
check out some of those apps. They're in the App Store. Some of them are pretty free. Although the ones that are free, I think like there's a easy turnaround on the iPhone. But if you're really serious about it, on screen time as well, on your settings, there is a place where you can actually put a code, and you can have somebody else put a code that you trust that might be, able to help in that area where, hey, I want to refocus on life. I want to refocus, in, the come up if you're, struggling with something. Put a code, and that code, what eventually is going to do is it's not going to allow you to access social media or certain apps, but you need to be able to filter it real good so that it works.
Right.
But it's worth it.
Yeah.
It is so worth it, because not only that, I started positive effects that I had from this. I started being more aware of my surroundings. I started being more aware of other people. I started being more aware of my feelings, my emotions. I started, being more aware of my time and how I spend my time. I started being more productive. I started enjoying reading books, which I've never really enjoyed it in life until like not too long ago, where I actually like it. I think there's beauty to it. Sitting down and reading. Yeah, pretty nice.
There's a lot you can gain from that.
But bottom line is that it's a positive thing, okay? And to a certain point, if you feel numb, it could be as well because you're on social media too much.
Yeah, just desensitized. Yeah, that's like a good. Sorry, you had something.
And keep that thought. In some areas of my life, in some time frames of my life in the past, my emotions were the channels where God was using to guide me closer to Him. Like, for example, some people, the Bible says don't trust your emotions, but it doesn't say don't feel your emotions. Mm-hmm. So your emotions are there for a reason. You don't ignore your emotions. Sometimes that is literally a sign that you need God. Like, God is literally screaming at you through your emotions of loneliness, of desperation, that you are desperately in need of God.
Right.
And we choose to ignore it. And part of it has to do that we're so distracted that we don't even catch on to our own emotions. Mm-hmm. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
No. I was just going to piggyback. That was really good. I was just going to say, like, if you want to try this, which I would encourage anybody to just try to just, like, abstain from social media for some period of time. You could even just fast. Like, fasting doesn't have to be from food. You can fast from social media for a day or two. If you want to do what Kevin did and go 4 months, I would do that. I mean, I'm sure anybody would benefit from it. And just stay away from it. And then if you want to try, because like we said, there's uses to social media, and I would encourage everybody to get into their creative side. If you want to, I mean, if you're Christian, right, you want to impart something, you need to, you should be doing something to serve others in some way. So if you want to use social media in a creative way, I encourage you to do it. But if you have that weakness with social media where you're just desensitized and you just can't take your eyes off the screen, moderate it. Little by little, maybe adjust as you go. Like, okay, I moderated this much and I'm falling back into it. You're gonna have to abstain again. You know? Be real with yourself. Be able to be honest with yourself when you see the effects coming back. Even though you might not want to admit it because you want to watch all this content. But I would say just give it a go. I mean, and if you want to be I was gonna say producer, a creator. I would encourage you to do so, but also, be wary of what your weaknesses are, and do it all in due time, like when you're ready. These things are a process, so
it takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
Social media is it's not worth your soul. Social media is not worth your soul.
No, nothing is.
Nothing is worth your soul. Only the blood of Christ.
Yep.
But that you can help other people through it. Yes, you can. For us, believers of Christ, we believe that we can share the gospel. We can tell others about Christ a lot faster than going out there and physically talking to people. So if you're a Christian and till today you haven't told anybody about Christ, and you have so many followers and so many years on your social media accounts, you got to question what you're doing, because then you're just a regular person with a social media account, and you're not being that person that is being that light in the darkness. I'm sorry to tell you that, but if you have that door open, if you have that ability to do it, just understand that while we stand in the presence of God one day, God is gonna bring that up. I'm sorry, you had the opportunity to share the gospel with so many people, you chose not to. I'm sorry, we're called to do that. We're called to share the gospel in every way possible. And if we have social media, if till today you haven't shared nothing about the love of God, then you got to rethink what you're doing as a Christian. And for all the non-believers, because we have a lot of non-believers that's, we believe they're going to get saved. We believe that God is going to reach them.
Amen.
We use this platform as a way to connect to the youth, to connect to anybody, honestly. Talk about good, relevant topics that are going on today, but at the same time, use those relevant topics to guide people towards Christ. everything we talk about, we want to guide people towards Christ. We talk about our own experience, what we go through, because we're regular people just like you. And at the same time that we've been talking about being stuck on social media, we've talked about how we've been stuck on social media, how we stopped, what benefits we've gotten, and what benefits you can get. But understand that what we want is that you can find that the cure of your problems, the solution to a lot of the things that you're going through, sometimes they're so simple. There's sometimes it's such as easy as disconnect for a moment so that you can connect to the real reality. And once you do that, you never know. Maybe you can find Christ even in that way. Maybe by you disconnecting from all the trash that you've probably been viewing online, maybe at some point you decide and you say, you know what, let me try church. Let me try real fellowship. Let me give you some advice. You want to have a good relationship with some good people and you want to do it offline, off media, go to a good church. And you can find some good relationships there and you can have good conversations. At our church, we have a welcome cafe where we talk to you and we introduce ourselves and we want to have a good conversation with you while we sit down and enjoy a soda, enjoy a coffee and a snack. We do that specifically because we want to connect with people. That's one of our goals that we talk about every Sunday. We want to connect people, be that bridge for people to access the love of God. And that happens through that fellowship, through those conversations. And honestly, I can't think about how it would be if we didn't have that and we did that only like, leave us your number and we're going to call you. And it's sad to say that many of the churches are still in that phase. Yeah. Leave your phone number, we're going to call you. Leave your phone number, we're going to text you. Leave your phone. There's never really that interaction like, you should come to this service or you should come to this event where we're going to fellowship and we can hang out, we could talk, we can spend some time. There's just something beautiful about being in person and having a good conversation and having that fellowship. So for the believer, it's time that you share the gospel through your social media. And for the non-believer, it's time that you disconnect from your social media so that you can connect with some good people. Yeah. And, and I believe, like I said in the beginning, I believe that it's going to open your eyes.
I think you mentioned something good too that maybe it's worth clarifying. When we mean good church, we mean do your research. Do your research to what church you want to be part of, what church you want to attend. Most churches have their like credentials, I guess, or their bio on websites, or you can ask. There's nothing wrong with being new to Christ or having an interest in visiting multiple churches to see which one you think that it's gonna have the most impact in your life. There's something very wrong with you doing it and making this a habit of moving from church to church. Like you should be anchored into one church. You shouldn't be moving around,
Yeah, you should aim to be an active part of some community. You shouldn't just be hopping around, being on the receiving end. You should be aiming to anchor yourself in some place and eventually be in a position where you start not only receiving but giving.
Yes.
And becoming a participating member.
Yeah, so that's what we mean by good. Like, do your research. The other thing that I was gonna mention as well is. Actually, it just flew out my head. I was gonna mention it. It just flew out my head.
I had something to say. That I think, Kevin, you tied it in well. That this emotional stuff and all these issues that come with social media. Yeah, we have to abstain from them, but we also have to take a moment to refocus on God.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, the perfect peace that, at least if you're a Christian, this perfect peace, this perfect joy, it's not going to come from just disconnecting and focusing on yourself.
Yep.
Which a ton of people like to say nowadays. No, it comes from focusing on God.
Repent.
We have to focus on God. If you're a believer, take a break from social media, but take that time to also, go into Scripture more or pray more. Like develop your prayer life. I'd say that's probably one of the best things you could do. Take time to develop your prayer life more than anything else, and just strengthen your relationship with God. God doesn't expect us to know it all, so you don't need to know the Bible, front to back. But prayer, that is something that is really going to bless you. And you need to disconnect and also reconnect to something better. Yep. You have to stop feeding yourself trash and feed yourself good stuff, and that's going to come from God, right? You can't just stop feeding yourself anything. So we need to remind ourselves a lot of times, especially when we're young, like a lot of youth, young adults, teenagers, we gotta remind ourselves like we have to keep God in the equation, because ultimately that's where we rely on. That's our foundation. That's our strength.
Yes.
That's our source of sustenance. I mean,
Yes.
that's our life. So
X equals God.
Y equals MX plus God.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty good, and I think I got what I was gonna say. And it's very important that we as Christians, because you were saying we need to be the light, and I think you mentioned it as well. We need to be the light in social media. So when you do come back to to the gram or to Twitter or to whatever you're into, you reinforce your mindset. A healthy balance for this. There's no unhealthy balance.
Mhm.
You're not spending 8 hours, but when you do come back to social media, be wise of how you use it, what you share, what you post. I feel like there is a bad habit in Christian social media where you post more about other churches than your own church, where you support other people more than the people that are in your circle and in your community.
Yep.
So it's like, man, like it's very sad to see it, but at the end of the day, your social media is an extension of your life that you're showing publicly. So whether you want to lie to the people or to your audience, that's up to you, or whether you really want to be sincere with people, that's also up to you. It's a choice that you have.
Yep.
It's a choice, but know that you can make a difference. Like no matter how small it is, you can impact, influence, or motivate somebody else. You will, like, if you go to my social media page, you will find me promoting something that we are going on in the church.
Yeah.
You will find Bible verse here and there. You will find shorts from this YouTube channel as well. You will find too me going at the gym, because that's something that I support. Like, I'm not doing it to show off, because you'll never see me with my shirt off
Right.
or anything, or flexing.
Yeah.
It's more about just me doing some sort of exercise that I enjoy, or something that I don't enjoy but I still do because of the benefit.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, your social media page, your social media account is an extension to your life.
Right.
It's either, something that you're exposing, something that you are, publicly, putting out there. Just be wise. Know that it's a tool that you can use, and it's a very powerful tool that anybody can use at the end of the day. So it's been real tonight. I don't know if we have anything else to cover.
I think that was pretty good. I mean, like you said, we got to be the light in the darkness, but maybe you're just not called to be in that darkness specifically. So maybe social media is not for everybody, but we encourage everybody to be a light somewhere. Social media, it can be one of those platforms, so it's not all bad. So.
Yep.
Maybe we should do a part 2 for this, because I have so much to say about
There
this.
is a lot to say. There's a whole other aspect that we didn't really touch too much, like as to why,
Yep.
why is this why has this happened?
Don't worry.
There's a lot we could talk about.
There'll be a part 2. There's a lot of culture stuff we have to hit, trends. The religious part of it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That is huge right there.
And we could talk about Christian social media. Like, there's a lot of division in Christian social media.
Yeah,
there's a lot of problems there.
No,
But
trend and culture is key though. Like the fact that most teenagers, they just hop on whatever's trending and they don't even do their research.
Yep.
And you're representing and promoting an organization that is for killing infants, for robbing people, because some of those organizations that you funded and that you supported went missing.
They're gone.
Nowhere to be found.
Yep.
So it's like you just go with the trend, you just go with the flow, and when you go with the flow,
wherever it goes, you go.
Yeah, you're not living your own life, fam.
But we'll leave those special details for the part 2. Just stay tuned.
Maybe we'll think about it. Comment if you want a part 2 on this. It could be something that we can do.
Or comment anything. Just say hi. I don't know.
Yeah,
Leave
share,
some comments.
post.
Speak to us.
Yeah, it's been great. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. Again, this is Backyard Conversations.
Hit that like
sir.
button. Share.
Hit that like, share.
All
It's
that good
been
stuff.
real. Peace. Stay
Peace,
safe.
y'all.
Bye.
chuletudo, está descarriado 115,000 veces. Felipe. Tú estás lejos de la realidad, locura. Escucha ciencia, siento la gloria de mi father.
Sí.
You're a millennial, Jerry.
All right, let's see how this is gonna work.
Generation Alpha is the next generation.
Gen Z for Christ.
Millennium guns.
The Millennium Falcon.
All right.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
All right, let's hurry up then. Le duri.
All right.
All right, guys. Welcome to another. Say no.